All right, we're live. I'm going to turn that beeping sound off. Okay, now we're live. We're still live. Tuesday, Attack the Androids. Got some new equipment. Hopefully this is all going to work. I have faith in this technology. I don't have faith in much, gentlemen, but I have faith in this technology. And it's a Lenovo. That's pretty much who makes my phone, or will start making. I don't know. All right.
One big happy Lenovo family.
I know. It's so nice that I can touch the screen and so. Okay, let's play.
For centuries, we've been warned about the little green men. Now, they're coming. They're coming for you. And therefore, the attack of the Android.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tuesday, October 28th, 2014. This is episode 138 of Attack the Androids. Tuesday evenings, when we have the time. AttackTheAndroids.com. Check it out. I'm Matt Lee. That guy right there, looking like he just had some computer problems. That's Eric Computer. What's up, Eric?
Not much. I did have computer problems because Hangouts sucks.
You know, I feel your pain, except that I don't, because Hangouts is actually working pretty good for me. So.
Oh, today.
Maybe you need a new computer. I'm just saying, it's amazing what $500 will do thrown at Hangouts. Also joining us, Nick Carroll. How you doing, Nick?
Yeah, hey guys, glad to be back. That's pretty much what I did. I just threw money at the problem, and it sort of went away.
You do, right? I mean, I could get another gig of RAM for this Vio, but really, I mean, it's Intel.
Do they make that type of RAM anymore?
Probably not. Probably not, Eric. And it's Centrino inside, dude.
Ooh.
Pretty sure my phone is packing more processor power than this old Vio. But that's all right.
Centrino? Yes, probably.
Probably. They probably, some of those old devices had Centrino inside of them. My first little notebook, dude. Android. What should we start things out with? Amazon announcing... Amazon just kind of taking plays out of... Like, me too, we have one of these too, but ours is only $19 if you're a Prime member. A little Chromecast competitor. Now, are they reaching out to the subset of the population that doesn't yet have some sort of way to watch this stuff? It's just one more thing?
Yeah, I think they're kind of running into the wall that a lot of the other companies are going to run into. Like, for our house, we have a number of dumb TVs still that work just fine. But we've got a Chromecast, a Roku, we've got a smart Blu-ray player. You know, we have a PS3, a PS4. So we're kind of running out of devices to get these sort of things. I think if they had that maybe a year ago when the Chromecast came out, maybe they would have something. But it seems like they're only coming out with it recently. So. But at least it's about the same price. So if you're in the Amazon ecosystem, it'll probably have some value for you, but otherwise, maybe not.
I kind of think that, you know, Google is a name, but I don't know that it's as much of a household name for people as Amazon is.
That's for sure.
So, and the Fire TV, which I've read some articles recently that state that the Fire TV has actually been much more of a success than the Amazon Fire phone. But if that $99 price point is too high, you know, maybe $39 is a little bit better to, you know, for some people, if they really just want the ability to stream Netflix to their, you know, dumb TV or their smart TV that they just don't know has Netflix streaming capability yet.
Yeah, I do think it is a good option as opposed to their $99 player. You know, I think that if you don't have the player and you have Amazon Prime, now is a really good time. Because it's like $39 if you don't have Prime, but if you have Prime, you can pick it up for $19. And at that point, it's a pretty good deal. So.
But that ends today. It was only for the first 2 days.
Hmm.
So if you're listening live, you have a little bit of time to go get it. Otherwise, it's going to be $39.
I saw this in my Facebook feed, which is where all of my normal friends live. You don't see this kind of stuff in Google Plus, I guess, because you know nobody's really using it except for us. But it was the question: you need to buy a tablet. which do I go with, an Android tablet? Do I go with a new iPad, or do I get one of these Kindle things? And my answer was obviously, what ecosystem do you live in? Because that's what it really comes down to. And I did see that echoed a couple times, and use case. But pretty much now, the use case, you can pretty much do everything with all of them. Maybe not so much on the Kindle Fire, because it's more of a consumption-only device. I mean, you can still probably get away with certain things, but you're not going to have the Play Store, which, if you're in that ecosystem, maybe you want. But if you use Amazon a lot, then maybe you don't care.
Yeah, also with Amazon tablets, the entry level to get in is pretty cheap. You know, they have a $99, 6-inch tablet now that you can pick up, for your kids or whatever, and they've had real good success with their tablets. Maybe if their unsuccessful phone can be dropped, its price pretty significantly, maybe that'll take off for them. But whereas Apple makes these highly profitable, high-end, premium devices for a fee, Amazon gets a mid-range to modestly high-end spec tablet or whatever, and they sell it at a really cutting-edge price, and that's where their audience comes from. So, anyways, but yeah, it does depend on use case, budget, and other things. So,
I like the.
I find.
Oh,
go ahead.
I just want to throw out a couple. Just this thing in the article, and Android Enemy has it here. It says that the Fire Phone was proven to be an unmitigated disaster with serious losses for the company, including $83 million in unwanted phones just laying around. So, do you think this is possibly some of the technology that was in those unwanted phones, just kind of repackaged?
Probably not so much, but with their Fire Phone, they did everything wrong. A mid-range phone for really expensive price with gimmicky features that just didn't appeal to a lot of people. That was also only exclusively on AT&T, not something you could just pick up and just use anywhere. So they did everything wrong.
They think they're the iPhone doing exclusivity deals? What's up with that?
Yeah, it was really weird. I'm not sure. It's like, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest. It was complete.
Well, you either
I
do
thought
that.
it was unlocked.
You either do that.
Put it on T-Mobile.
Is it?
I was not aware of it being unlocked. I thought it was exclusive just to AT&T, and you can only get it through them. But I could be wrong.
Maybe they were just testing. Maybe that big spot where all those E.T. Atari games in the landfill opened up a little spot there, and they can just put those phones right in there. That's cool, though. I mean, it's good to see competition, for sure, especially undercutting prices. I mean, we thought a $35 Chromecast, something here in our household with, the roommates and everybody has their Android phone, and even iPhones. A couple of our friends have them, and anybody is like, hey, check this out. Boom, it's on the TV. Really cool device. One for $9, or for the sale. What do we know? What it's going to go up to after the cheap sale, or is that
That's $39.
Okay, so $4 over. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought the way I read it, I could be wrong, but I thought the way I read it, it was $39 for everyone, unless you have Amazon Prime for the duration of the sale. But I was actually unaware that it ended tonight, so I could be wrong.
Yep. One thing that I see that I still don't get. Do you guys do you play games on your Chromecast or anything like?
I've been playing Shadows of Mordor, and basically just freeing slaves. Like, I've spent the last 3 days. Pretty much call me Wraith Braham Lincoln, because I free so many slaves from these orcs. Do you like that? It's a pretty good game. So no, I've been actually gaming on that.
I don't see myself like playing games. It's touting like over 200 games, and I
don't. Maybe for the casual gamer, again, for the person that lives in the Amazon ecosystem, that's legit. But I don't know. The only thing really we do with Chromecast is Netflix and music and podcasts, Beyond Pod, because those apps work well. There's still crap support for streaming actual MKVs or MP4 or M4Vs, wherever you're playing your video files that you might download legally. It won't do that.
Yeah, mostly I just play music on it sometimes when I'm out there
Yeah.
in the living room if I'm cleaning up or whatever, or sometimes I'll just leave the whatever the screensaver is on it and just cycle through pictures
The
because it
pictures.
keeps something. So
Can I tell you? Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'll come out into the living room, and if the TV is left on, the two cats are sitting on the couch watching Chromecast pictures. Not sleeping. I come out and they both are like this, and then they look up at me, and then they're like, "Please don't turn that off." It's so awesome. But the thing I like about it is it works way better. We have a Vizio TV, and the Netflix native app, I thought it was cool because you can do it from your phone. Like, it just, when you hit the cast button, it'll show up as the Vizio in there. It's so buggy. Like, it rarely have I gotten it to work. For Netflix, at least. That's the only thing I've really tried. But my experience is these onboard TV apps are just not as good as if you have a Chromecast or something like that.
yeah, and the cool thing with something like a Chromecast or a Fire Stick or whatever that thing's called is, you can essentially upgrade it over time. So next year there'll be a better version. Like there's going to be a new Chromecast coming out with dual band support as opposed to just the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and it's probably going to be more powerful. So we'll likely see the same thing over time with these devices, and even the Roku and other devices. So
Well, that's the important thing, right? Because back in the day, or even if those early adopters that bought the TVs that have these apps, you got to buy a whole new TV, yo. This thing, I like the idea of just having a dumb display and then hooking up whatever to it. Whatever
yeah,
your phone, your Chromecast, your computer, whatever you're doing. That way, as long as your pixels are legit, the TV's fine. You're not having to replace it every 2 or 3 years like they would want you to.
Well, people like I talk to people and they ask like, should I get an Apple TV? Should I get a Roku? And I've always just recommended a Roku because I think that's like the gold standard of these streaming devices.
yeah.
But with Chromecast, with another option with the Amazon Fire Stick, which might actually be easier to use than the Chromecast. Um, I don't know. Like this may end up being like the go-to recommendation for people who just want to, just stream Netflix on their TV. 'Cause it's so
And
cheap.
that's all the comments I'm reading. It's that price point, right? Impulse buy. I bought one. It's an impulse buy. I'll give it to somebody if I don't use it. I already have a Chromecast. I bought one for the 3 more months of free Netflix, whatever,
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, cool. More competition, which will only give way to cheaper costs and more features. Let's see, what's next? You want to talk about this next bit? Supposedly bringing iOS-like app continuity and limitless storage to Android. Ooh, I like the term limitless.
It means without limits or boundaries.
Right? It invokes just a feeling of being without limits. No speed limits, no physics, no limits on the manifestations of this reality. F that. No limit.
Unfortunately, it's not quite unlimited, but it's pretty close, I guess. No.
What is it? What is it, please?
It's a pretty good app that well, if you wanted to talk about it, Eric, you may know more. Okay, it's basically a feature if you have this version of Cyanogen where you can essentially have this app work on a project or whatever you're doing on it, say you're doodling or whatever, and you can basically, if you have another CM phone with CM on it, and with this ability, you can basically transfer that project in as it is over to the other device and essentially be able to pick up where you left off. So if you have a smartphone and a tablet, if you're doing something on your smartphone, you want to continue it on a tablet because it's a bigger screen, you could do that. So it seems pretty cool.
It's also like it's a framework too, so it can be baked in. Like it's not going to be an app. It'll be built into whatever operating system you're running, whatever version I should say of the operating system you're running, whether it's CyanogenMod, if another if an OEM decides to bake it into Sense, it's something that's going to be integrated at such a deep level that they're at least saying it'll be very smooth. And the good thing about that is because it's in the framework, you don't have to, like, each individual app developer does not have to build in support for this. So, like Nick's saying, if you're doodling, all you do is like sort of in whatever the keystroke is or whatever to invoke this what are they called? Baton is what they're
Yeah,
calling this
you're
one.
passing the baton.
And you just say, hey, send it to this device, and after a few seconds, it sort of sucks it into the other device, and you're at the exact same point you were at.
Yeah, from what I understand, there's a limitation in terms of like if you have two high-end devices with high-end, networking, that it'll occur faster, but not so much, if it's slower or you don't have the highest, data transfer speed. So
One thing I found interesting is that it said in the article that Baton is actually currently being shipped on some NTT Docomo devices in Japan. So, and they're talking to Chinese OEMs right now. So it's already out in the wild. Like, this isn't, well, I don't know that we're going to see any reviews of this, because I don't know that there's any journalists that are in Japan that, for any of the big sites that we read, that will be able to test these NTT Docomo devices. But this isn't just a pipe dream at this point. Like, they've made something, they've put it out there, so we hopefully can see how it works sometime soon.
And what's the CyanogenMod tie-in? This is made by...
Their CyanogenMod is teaming up with this company, NextBit, that created this.
Gotcha. They're going to release
so
it.
yeah, it'll be supported on Cyanogen basically.
So well, and one of the comments they're saying, that's why I asked it. They're saying that the Baton's first public release is going to debut on commercially distributed CyanogenMod OS at some point this year. So that's the N1 and the One Plus one, right? Those are the only two devices that they're on. Unless
there's another one coming around.
Right, right.
Like the OnePlus One, they're finally taking out of invite-only status, I think, sometime soon. So maybe that's a precursor to them releasing like a second version of that, which is probably invite-only again, but running this new version.
Oppo is also releasing a couple new phones fairly soon. One of them is a successor to the phone that you have, Eric, and the other one I don't know what it is because from what I've seen in their like press release, not really a press release, but like a peek is basically a picture of the successor to your phone and like a sneak peek of the corner of the other phone. So maybe we might see it on those, at least on the cyanogen versions of those phones, if that occurs.
Yeah, well, I don't know that I put the story in the rundown, but there was some talk that I believe it was Oppo. No, it was OnePlus was looking at dumping ColorOS, which is the sort of the version of the flavor of Android that Oppo created, which is the alternative to running CyanogenMod. So if these two stories could be linked, it could be that they're just dropping ColorOS altogether and just going 100% with CyanogenMod.
Interesting. Tell us about, so you can use that when you're feeling healthy. What would you use if you're not feeling so healthy, perhaps?
The Taco Bell app?
There you go. The Taco Bell app. Now, is this a must-have? I install the Papa John's app when I just don't feel like talking to a person, and I'll order the pizza, and then I will uninstall it.
Well, it's probably similar. One thing I thought was kind of a little. I mean, it makes sense because Taco Bell doesn't deliver in the States, but like you place your order, but then you still have to go to the store.
Yeah.
So it even has less utility than a Papa John's app because they're not bringing it to you.
Well, the Five Guys app comes to mind because you place your order. The idea is that you don't have to wait in line when you get there. You get there, your stuff's done, it's paid for, and boom, you're out the door.
Nobody's complaining
making
about
fast
times
food
at Taco Bell.
Even faster.
Yeah, the problem for me is the only times I'm even thinking about Taco Bell is when places like Five Guys are closed, and you can only get the food you want at Taco Bell's when you've got the drive-thru. So
Nick, the problem for me personally is that it's Taco Bell. But that's just me. I can't eat Taco Bell. I will drive the extra, half a block across the street to Taco John's. I try not to eat Mexi rolls.
There's no place called Taco John's.
There is.
Stop that.
There is, and I
There's
eat,
Montana.
I eat there quite a bit. The Mexican in me is pleased by its food.
The Polish in me is pleased by Taco Bell.
The white in me is pleased. The Mexican in me is like, this is garbage. But it's better than Taco Bell. But they don't have an app, so I have to wait in line. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and they don't have a Dorito shell.
Oh,
Which is-
so gross. They do have churros though, and Mexi rolls. Have I mentioned Mexi rolls? They're pretty good. It's like a tortilla with some sort of amazing flavoring squeezed inside of it.
You should talk to them, Taco John's, about.
None of it resembles meat or anything like that. Well, that's cool. I mean, just really making it easier, putting the power into the hands of the public. When the public
right.
is like, we're hungry, Taco Bell's like, I got an app for that. I got an app to
The
type.
meaty, squishy hands of the public.
Well, that's sweet.
Yummy.
You can. I like this. It says you can even place an order well in advance and pick it up later. I'm thinking 2 weeks from tomorrow. I'm gonna need.
No, this is for
Taco
lazy
Bell.
parents. This is what I
We're
just
going
woke
out
up.
of town. We left you Angry Birds with one in-app purchase, and we left you the Taco Bell app.
It's a great idea.
Survive.
You come home, you stop at Taco Bell on the way home from school, you got dinner, you're fine.
Damn, I like that move. That's a good look.
I think there's a reason why the only two non-fathers in this conversation are the ones that are talking. Nick's just like, nah.
Nah.
I'm slightly interested in this app, but that's about as far as it goes. I don't think I would use it that often.
Now, Nick, what intrigues you about this app? Is it the fact that it's an app and that it exists, or
Yeah,
is there an aspect to it?
Just that you can order something from Taco Bell that way. I'm pretty sure other establishments like Domino's have something similar, but I've never thought about it.
I'll tell you what. I went to a Kill the Noise show in Missoula on Sunday, so I had a little time in a hotel room, which is the only time I ever see a TV with commercials. I saw, first of all, it's weird seeing commercials for apps. Can I say that? It's the weirdest. I'm not used to it, so when I saw it, I was like, that's kind of weird. That's what's on my computer. Now it's on this stupid TV thing. Whatever. I saw then a Domino's ad for their app, and now they're like, you don't even have to touch your phone. You can just talk to it, and they have some name for this persona that lives in the Domino's app on your phone that you can just be like, yo, I'm hungry. I don't want to talk to somebody on the phone, but I'm going to talk to you on my phone.
It's like Siri for Domino's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the commercial once. It takes a little. It's like a 30-second commercial, and it
It's
takes a
weird.
little second to wind. It winds you down this evolution of how we came to this process of why you're going to use this app in this specific way. But it's pretty cool. I would more likely use that than a Taco Bell app, mainly because I probably won't get sick after eating a pizza. But so.
I kind of feel like some of this stuff is like CIA fronts, and it's like MIBs, right? Like you order the right thing and it lets you into the. That's what I feel like. Like this can't even be real. That it's so just unreal. I don't know. Taco Bell for Android, good deal. Let's see, from the Android developers blog, this is kind of cool, seeing some more apps roll out the material design. What was one I noticed the other day? I mean, obviously Play Store got it. Oh, Play Music got it, and got some cool features added to it from the Songza acquisition. We can kind of talk about that a little bit next if you want. But run us down the checklist, Eric. The
Probably
Android...
not the whole checklist. This is a long checklist.
No, I'm going to need it in full.
All of it. No.
Triplicate.
Okay, perfect.
I'm taking notes, so please go.
So, you require tangible surfaces.
I like
is
the
a
sound of that.
Shadows and surfaces are used in a consistent and structured way. You need a bold print-like aesthetic.
So
Important.
basically, they went around in offices and looked at all the real shit. And they were like, all right, we're gonna make our shit look like this real shit. So I'm gonna need pictures of you moving a file, and then we're gonna replicate that. No, it is cool. I do like where this is going. It's just funny that like that this is a thing that like we're recreating this kind of real world tangible reality and experience on these little devices that then will give us that same experience so that, you know, it's easier to learn, to pick up. And from someone that just went to Windows 8, I'll tell you, muscle memory in the brain is a bitch. I keep wanting to not use the Windows 8 thing, and it's like, no, we really think you should use this. And you like find yourself where I work at, we move the trash can, and I still like go for where it used to be. Like you get used to
There's trash all over the floor where it used to be.
So when they do the material design thing, I think it will click with people better, and there will be you'll be able to learn these UIs better, and app developers will have an easier time conveying what they're trying to get you to do because it makes sense.
Yeah, it is an interesting art style. It's semi-flat, but not really. It's not flat in the way that iOS has sort of gone to, and same thing with Microsoft Windows tiles. It is more 3D in terms of how the interface is and when you move through the icons and other objects on screen. But it is a little bit weird when you get used to Hollow, the design we've had for the last couple years. It is a bit of a change.
It's pronounced Hala.
Hollow. But
I like that they have like if you're trying to design a modern looking app, like just picking one thing out, like under motion, it says ripple effects is one of these signature elements, and it actually points out in code this is what you do to get the ripple effect if you're on Lollipop, and if you're on something before Lollipop, this is how you do it. So it's really just simplifying it for maybe those people who are not, they're not UI, they're code people. They're not very good at UI.
Yeah, one thing that interests me about this whole thing is how will the OEMs handle it? Like, is TouchWiz going to look any different? Is Sense going to look much different?
Yeah. So. They just won't get anything past Lollipop, right? We're happy here on Froyo. It's fine.
I mean, like the apps will probably look a little different themselves, those that obey it, but like the user interface itself, that's what intrigues me, is if companies like Samsung or HTC, how well they'll implement that into their skins. So.
Well, and speaking of this, we could talk about Inbox now that Eric was nice enough to give. I don't know if you got an invite, Nick, but
no.
I got one, and I've been using it, and actually I do like it more than regular Gmail. I don't know. It's cool, and then I saw that you can use it on the web, like on your computer. You can switch to that. More of that material design in how you deal with emails and like the workflow of going through each of the labels and how it's bundling things together and almost like rating them, or not rating them, but sorting them, showing you what is most important first, going down to like promotions and bill and that kind of stuff. But I really like it, and I like the way the new animations move and everything. It does. Not like more immersive, but it feels like more of a real thing. It tricks your brain better because the lag time is diminishing.
I think it's pretty, but I still do not like. I've never been on board with Google bundling things into promotions and things like that, because I don't think they do a very accurate job of it. Like there are some things that they get it wrong too much, and there are some things that I don't consider a promotion that they do. So like in Inbox, I actually went through and told it to ignore like most of that stuff. Like I'll still let it group travel and purchases, because those are fairly straightforward. But everything else, like this is why I have Inbox rules myself. I feel like Inbox screws too much with my way of doing things. I don't really want to.
You just not want to take the time to teach it? Because I started using like the different categories that they had, and a few times it would get stuff wrong, but I would just make a rule for it or just drag it, and it would say, do you want me to do this for all of these? And then you just tell it, yeah. And so maybe that transition worked better for me because I was already using that kind of setup.
I've not used it myself, but I'll say that coming from my standpoint, like at work, I have multiple email accounts to deal with. I have multiple personal email accounts that I deal with, and having too many inboxes can be an issue. And when you're dealing with inbox, at least from what I've seen, not having the app myself, watching some videos of it from other people that do have it, it seems like now you have your inbox and you have all these different boxes you have to look at where emails automatically been sent to or whatever, or maybe you have to send it yourself. But it gets pretty convoluted and pretty complex unless you're used to just always sorting the various emails that you get from the various clients into various locations. It just gets, complicated.
I pipe all of that stuff right into my Gmail account, and then I just kind of deal with it as it comes in. It never gets overwhelming. I think people are just doing email wrong. Like, I don't get how you can be like, oh my god, I have like thousands of messages. Like, no, you don't. You just don't ever deal with any of them. Like, it's not hard. I don't know. It seems.
Now, I really like the sort of how the reminders and notifications are built in.
The snooze is cool, right? I like that.
What's that?
The snooze option, because I do that a lot. Like, I'll be like, I need to deal with this, but not now, so I'll just usually leave it, and then it works its way down. So this, if you're out of town or something, you get an email, you can say snooze till I get home, based on location, or you can say snooze till this time, and then it'll show you the email again like it's new. That I like a lot.
I think that's great. Like that option. Also, like sometimes if I need to remember something, I'll send myself an email. But now I can just say like remind me to do this at this time. And like there are other ways to do it. Like you could do a calendar thing, but this is just built in and it's easy. I don't know. I really like it. There are things of Inbox I really like. I'm just a little uneasy to go 100% into it.
You never go full Inbox, Eric.
Yeah.
I still have Gmail open. You don't go full Inbox.
I get to. I wonder, I cleared the notifications. I'll see, like, on my notification bar in Android, I'll have two, like Gmail and Inbox.
Yep. I picked the one that's nicer, and then I'll use that one.
So it's Inbox. So Matt's using Inbox 100%.
No, it changes. Sometimes, if I just want to go through, because you can't swipe to delete, right? You got to check the box, and then you got to hit the three dots, and then you got to say move to trash. In regular Gmail, you can just swipe to delete. And so if I need to just delete a bunch of crap, because I'm good at email, I'll just boom in Gmail. You could just select all of them and then hit the three dots, but I'm used to just swiping to delete. I swipe to delete, so I don't know what you swipe for, but.
Well, I guess the notifications on the phone itself, when you look at it, you look at the inbox notifications, but when you go into the different apps themselves, I guess you handle them differently.
Sure, I use them all differently. It's pretty awesome, man. And then while we're talking about that, Google Music bringing in some of the songs and stuff, which is cool. I never used Songs before, but I like the way this looks. Some of the playlists are a little meh. We were bumping some Wu-Tang. That was pretty cool. So, yeah. Right now it's saying, hey, it's Tuesday evening. What do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. Are you having friends over? Are you going to cut loose? Are you trying to look fresh in the 90s? Are you driving? So, and then you can go in, let's say, yeah, I'm just cutting loose. It's all good. So, and then it gives you the list of how you would like to then cut loose. Won't stop hip-hop, chill, laid-back dance, flirty pop. Can't stop pop. You know what the difference between flirty pop and can't... Never mind.
I'm confused because mine says it's Wednesday morning.
Whoa. Are you in the future?
I am.
That's pretty sweet.
They don't have lonely and tired on here, so...
I wonder if I make a playlist on Google Music and make it public and name it Lonely and Tired. And then in the description, just put this is for you. One of those nights, those late nights or early mornings. You know who you are. Oh man, that's pretty sweet. So, let's see. You want to talk about Samsung and their 0-day in the Find My Mobile service, allowing some attackers to remotely lock some phones. Samsung.
This is actually pretty cool. Like if you watch the video, it's really weird. I don't know. Maybe this guy doesn't speak English because he's just pantomiming the entire time.
Subtitles.
Look at phone.
What he's saying here is your phone is about to get pwned.
Yes. So what he shows is he has a website up, one that he's obviously coded, very simple HTML, and if you have the remote, what do they call, Find My Device turned on for Samsung.
Find My Mobile.
Find My Mobile. Just by sending these commands through a simple web form, you can remotely lock the device, unlock the device, or make it ring.
Yo, make it rain?
Yes, it'll just dollar bills will flip.
It'll just start Google mailing you dollar bills.
I don't know why this feature wasn't put in by default.
Weird, right?
Is
that NFC?
So creepy.
I'm about to make it rain.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my web form out, baby. I'm gonna make it rain.
Oh yeah. So, and this is obviously, like, when we talk about some of these exploits, you have to download the thing, you have to push the button and say, yes, I want to install this, and then maybe it's malicious, maybe not. This, obviously, you've already downloaded.
It's built in.
Device. It's in the device. So, what do you need? The number? Do we know?
It's not turned on by default, though.
Right.
It looks like you need the device ID, which I didn't get to watch the second video.
The IMEI?
It didn't look like the IMEI when I was watching it. I'm scrolling through the YouTube video right now for the first video. Well, it's a good thing he doesn't talk.
That's really crazy.
Yeah. So it's one of those. It's a scary thing. Like it. We've seen 0-day exploits before, but the fact that this is like baked into
one of the more popular
the operating system is kind of messed up.
Yeah, and one of the more popular ones, right? Everyone has a Samsung phone, so it's out there. It's out there a lot. This says the remote controls feature on Samsung mobile devices does not validate the source of lock code data received over a network. Oops. I mean, could you, though? Like, you'd have to know what your IP was and whitelist it and all that. I mean, I guess if you were worried about it, you would take those precautions. But, it says makes it easier for remote attackers to cause a denial of service, basically just screen locking with an arbitrary code by triggering unexpected Find My Mobile network traffic.
Yeah. So it looks like in his vulnerability he was unlocking it. Like when he shows his code, he had his actual pin code in the HTML that it was sending. But besides that, like you said, like you could just it's like a DOS attack. Like you could just keep spamming somebody if you wanted to screw with them.
Sending it messages, rude messages,
making their phone ring,
and or images.
That's an interesting idea.
They linked to 2 proof-of-concept videos, this NIST group, that Egyptian security researcher Mohammed Abbasset. They demonstrate exploiting cross-site request forgery, CSRF, vulnerabilities in the Find My Mobile service that would allow an attacker to remotely lock, unlock, and ring the phone, and make that phone rain.
That's right, make it rain.
Make it rain.
We talked about NIST before, too, because when we have a new device and folks want to get root access to it, a lot of times they will go to NIST, to the database, to see if there are any inherent vulnerabilities, like in the Linux kernel that the particular version that phone is running. So it's a very popular source for looking at these types of things.
So we should kind of talk about the Chainfire's post on Google Plus about why it's hard to root the new version. So you're saying that they've, because so many of these have been rooted, they took extra care to lock 5 down? Or is it just the way it works? What's difficult about this latest iteration that you can't?
I may stumble through this, and if there are any inaccuracies that listeners can point out, please do.
Yeah, Fire and let him know.
So in the latest version of Android in L, Google is implementing SE Linux, security enhanced Linux. I don't think they were doing that in the past, if I remember right, or maybe they were only doing it in bits and pieces. The only SE Linux that we've had has been through custom ROMs like CyanogenMod. But on top of this, they've changed the way that that services or daemons start up on the phone. So before Chainfire, when your phone booted up, the init script for Linux would kick off, and then Chainfire's SuperSU would run as a process, I believe, in the context of init. So it's like very high level because init's the very first thing that happens when you boot.
So because they were using a common init, anyone could do something like that. So now they're using the SE Linux one, which is maybe not as common.
What they're doing is that they're not letting things start under the init.
Right.
They're making them create their own context, which is then run and has SE Linux enforces security protocols against those contexts.
Which is good if you're worried about your phone's security, but if you're trying to root your phone by exploiting that security, maybe not so good.
Yeah. So what the whole post is, and I'm really happy because I was, you don't know about these things. For most of us it just works and we're happy. But what Chainfire is saying is that in the future, what's probably going to be the case is that you're going to have to run a custom kernel if you want to have super user running without any major issues. What he had done for the Nexus 5 and Nexus 7 was go into the device and comment out certain fields that would enforce some of this stuff.
Right.
But that in the future we might need if you want root, you have to get something that has an unlockable bootloader and some nice person who modifies the kernel for you.
Which brings it back full circle to how it used to be. Remember, trying different kernels because certain ones had certain tweaks that would make the phone run better depending on which silicon piece your processor came out of, because it varied from actual device to device. If you had 2 or 3 Droid X's or Galaxy Nexi, you would want different tweaks depending on how the processor was running. Sometimes it would crash, but then we stopped doing that because it'll be tweak those kernels, yo. It's gonna be awesome.
It was not, it was kind of fun in like it was the Wild West and we were all screwing with our devices, but it's nice when you don't have to do that just to get your root access working.
Yeah. We're almost spoiled now, I feel like. That it's gotten so good. Personally, I haven't had to root or ROM a phone since I've had this Moto X. I guess this is the only one I haven't since the G-Nex that was. But yeah, they're much better now.
Yeah, I really don't want to return to the days of nearly bricking my device.
Oh, those were fun days. Those were fun days.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta grow up. Sometimes you gotta put your toys away, pull out your big boy phone, and go to work. And I kept going to work when my phone's break.
This is true.
Right?
I can't order Taco Bell.
That's right. How am I gonna eat? I might starve because I put the wrong kernel
It's a vicious cycle
on my phone. And I'm not
emaciated. You're like one of those cats in a Hoarders episode. You're just sort of laying under a couple of boxes of magazines.
Just waiting for someone to feed me. Awesome. Let's see. Nick, you've been awful quiet. Pick something, and let's
I've been learning.
Nick, what kernel is your phone running?
It's just a Nexus 4 on stock, so.
Nice. The AOSP kernel. Anything interesting you've come across you want to mention?
It does look like the Droid Turbo has finally been announced and released.
Oh,
It looks like
spec-wise, this is the one that I was kind of liking, maybe more than the Moto X2. But then I looked, and my upgrade's not till 2015, so whatever. There'll be a Droid Turbo 4 by then.
yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's been announced, and it's top notch as far as all the specs. Larger battery, faster processor, just all the bits. So higher resolution screen and all that. But one of the interesting things about it looks like that Verizon's dropping their activation fees if you want to upgrade to it. So that's kind of interesting. So.
You mean Verizon's not going to steal that money from you when you get a new device? Like, what, an activation fee? What is that? Seriously, what are you...
Yeah, realistically, they'll make up for that.
What am I paying you to do?
Yeah. Well, they'll make up for it for whatever, hidden, subsidies they have into what you're paying anyways. But, but at least that fee is explicitly not in there, so, for whatever reason. So, but it looks like
they're dropping fees.
Yeah.
But if you're dropping the phone, they're also going to replace the screen, which is nice.
Haha, I like what you did.
Once.
Only one time?
Yeah.
And they say that's an improvement on what HTC did as far as its Advantage service, which only covers screen breakage for the first 6 months. So Verizon's going to do it for however long, but just one time.
Yeah.
As somebody who's broken a screen, it only takes once.
I've never broken a screen yet. I'm going to knock on a little wood here.
I have a small crack in my Nexus 4 screen, so...
I've seen people use phones that have cracked screens indefinitely, I guess. I don't know how you reconcile that in your brain. I could not. I
had a boss who took packaging tape because he had broken his phone so many times. He didn't want to show his wife, so he took packaging tape, a clear packaging tape, and just put it over the top. And every once in a while, you'd hear him go, "Ow!" He'd be messing with his finger because little shards of glass would go
that's the worst. That is the worst.
Yeah, I've been lucky in that the little crack that's on my screen is like, it's not even noticeable. Like, I only noticed it when I was looking for it. The phone flew out of my car seat. But yeah, if it was a bad crack, I would just replace the phone. But it's nice that with this policy that it just gets replaced, during the life of that contract. So 2-year contract. So that's pretty cool.
It's not a windshield. I mean, I deal with broken windshield, whatever. That's fine. You put a little nickel polish on it or what have you. But like on your screen, on your phone, you're touching it. I don't touch my windshield. I just have to see through it. And every now and again, the light hits just right where it blinds you for a sec. That's fine. My phone, I can't deal with that. I need the screen uncracked. No crack for me, thanks.
I noticed that people that I know with iPhones are the ones that are consistently breaking their screens.
Yeah, and consistently not getting new replacements. Oh, man. Yeah.
Now there's a whole business around this of, like, send us your phone, we will replace your screen.
Yeah, no kidding, right. Like before you just, I don't know, whenever I've had problems, I've just called and, like, gotten 1 cent. You just gotta wait till enough problems happen, and then it's no problem. It's fine. So, let's see. Anything else before we wrap this up? We talked about Inbox, Samsung, Taco Bell,
Well, here's one of the news items I thought was interesting. Google Play Games now supports multiplayer. Like, you have 2 people nearby, they're both using the Google Play services. They can connect that way, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Kind of like how Facebook's like, hey, one of your friends is nearby. It's just like I always know where you are, and now I know where your friends are, and I'm gonna make this connection happen whether you like it or not.
All right, you can be in a Starbucks and you can digitally stalk people.
Via what game? What game are you digitally stalking people with?
I don't know. Something good. You tell.
Free?
Here's one for the listeners. How are you digitally stalking people?
Ooh, I
Let
like
us know.
throw it out to the listeners. Where can they tell us that?
Matt, they could tell us at show@attackoftheandroids.com.
Nice. I heard that's a good show. It's a good email address.
It is. It's
So
both.
is this something that's just going to get auto-magically flipped on, and one day it's going to be like, hey, Eric's like literally in the other room getting a massage while you want to play a game with him, or do you want to play a game?
Eric's busy. He doesn't want you bothering him during his massage.
I'm done with your silly games.
I think this is just it's just another feature that you can bake into your games. At this point, I think it's in Google Play services already.
Right. So people need to add it to their games so that we can all stalk each other in friendly, fun, gamey ways. Does this do anything for Gamergate? Gamygate? What's that called? Gamegate?
Hashtag Gamergate.
Right. Okay. Tic-tac-toe.
I don't know that it does.
Gamergate.
We should start calling it that instead of
The
hashtag.
show? Can we just call the
Tic-tac-toe.
show Gamergate? Tic-tac-toe, Gamergate.
We'd probably get a lot more listeners.
Probably not the kind that we want, but that's all right. No. Nope. All right. I should mention we launched a new site. The group of friends that I work for, all of us here, for HTC. It's called BreakingModern.com. So this has nothing to do with anything that I'm going to say on here about their stuff, but I do a few app reviews here and there, so you can check it out. I got a Tech Secure one up there and a Google Play Music up there. Of course, up before the cool update that added all the fun new stuff, but I'll just have to make another one. So, yeah, check that out. And, of course, attacktheandroids.com. And Eric Finkenbeiner on Google+. He is a prolific guy on there posting things.
Oh,
If I had a nickel, right?
You'd have nearly $1.
Here. Nick, you got anything coming up you want to mention?
I'm still posting videos on my YouTube channel. I just did one today on the recent price drop for the Xbox, and my next video is going to be more details on the Droid Turbo that has just been announced by Verizon. So.
Oh, cool. Oh, and I should mention, over the time we were gone, my brother and I released that album, The Polici, The Chthonic Chronicles. It's out on Google Play Music. If you're an all-access subscriber, you can just listen to it. If you want to buy it, it's up there. It's also on SoundCloud for free. You can download it or stream it or whatever if there's a set there for it. It's 8 tracks, 4 hip-hop, 4 EDM, just banging like, I don't know, you got to listen to it. My brother made all the music for all of it, and then I wrote the lyrics and did the rappy. So yeah, check it out. It's our first album that me and my brother actually made together. Our friend Ben, Space Base, he did the album art for it. It was like a school art project, so I don't know. It was cool. It was a fun like group thing we worked on all summer, and it's neat to see it out and it's done. And I don't gotta like think about those rhymes anymore. I can start thinking about new ones. So the Polici, the Chthonic Chronicles. It's on the Matt Lee Google Play Music page because I didn't want to make another artist thing. So yeah, check that stuff out. And like Eric said, show at attacktheandroids.com. That's us, usually every week, every other week, as we can. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you all next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.